So basically, today's date is the wait, no, it's not recording. So basically, today's date is the 4th of January 2026. Session continuity. Time now is 3:06. It's gonna make this video a long time ago, but I'm glad I'm making it now. Mmuko OS basically, fucking hell. This is OBINexus repository. OBINexus.org. Oh my days. This is like a 40 guard. I hate 40 guard. But this is a Cisco blocker because it's like blocking me because I'm a fucking institution. But it was set up intrusion prevention. Because you know intrusion, there's no intrusion. But it's a Cisco system because it just tags this like if it's like but I'm trying to fix internet users policy. But it's a Cisco guard, it's a fortified guard against intrusion. I don't know what intrusion prevention is, but I wanna website. I don't care what institutional norm. It's unrated, so it's blocking him. Because you know, it's a category anyway. Back to the system. Basically, this one uses a different website because you know I can't get website under the system. Okay. So basically, continue. Okay, OBINexus is if echo 0 for 0, if echo king or leader project. So basically, yesterday we talked about the embrace system by OB project. So we got OBI, which is project yesterday, but this is an unblock system, artificial gestation system. But you know, OBI can create and destroy everything and nothing. What OB we can destroy, what OB gives can take away. This is OBI. It's like it's you see, but you know. It is the gestation system. Artificial basically is about whims, and you know artificial system for growth and regrow, but organisms that flies, including mosquitoes, gnats, everything. But this is just the you go to this repository, you can find that one here, but it's not the full thing here. This is the backup MD, but this is MD. Let's go here, just the certification. But yeah. This is disclaimer, all special material. No consideration, you cannot lose context. Because, you know, if there's something that's not, you know, as a human being, this is the tier C, but this is like the one I put on the X. But, you know, I'm not sure what persona. But this is like, anyway. I don't want to talk about this one, talk about as an NSigii project. So basically, I'll come back to this project because, you know, about the project of Asia. So Asia is king, tier 3B. You know, human rights is not protocol. NSigii is this repository, you know. NSigii, Asia protocol. This is by Asia himself. This is like, you know, war protocol. But a war protocol is literally Asia bound. But this is a bound war because the NSigii protocol is a Britain sovereignty. And this was a bad. A human rights framework for breathing is never optional, life is never optional, what only work is optional, but literally only work. And this is as the king, a leader of the project, but you know, this is on repository, so I'm gonna have to make other persona for it, because I hope you guys understand where this is going. This is the NSigii protocol. Now, this is the main one, NSigii, N for November, I for Sarah, as an Alpha Indigo, GG Golf, Alpha Indigo, but this is a game, but this is a war tech, so you can get a release here. But this is just a sparse thing. If you can use it for, if you use it to harm people, you can use it to rebuild people. And say, metaphysically or no, you know, it says that, so get the form, get the protocol here, but it's not, if it's not weapon, it's not, if it's not weapon, if you can't fully use it to harm people, it can be for something else. I'm saying, if you can't kill people, if you can kill you, I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Because the tier 3B and C, because Eze and Uche, Eze and Ubi are working on one more project after this, which is drumroll please. Basically, NSigii protocol by Eze and Ubi is literally like prison, but it's prison because you know if you're like detained, you need food, but you know you need food like a little you for yourself. You're not detained, you are there for food, so you shouldn't get food. You know this is it. So you are like locked up. You know it's not prison. Completely you lock people up, but you know, you can release people who got food. But you know, you have to go out anyway of the prison, but it's a food prison. So you know, the purpose is to reform people, but people don't give food. So I'm not giving them a prison anything. I'm making no prison location. I'm really making a sovereign way for people who like me who don't trust anyone else. There's like a lack of trust. Cause if trust erodes, there's a lot of problems. So OBI and RS decided to like work on but that's OBIexus. So it's like so sustainable the AGS project, which is the drum roll please, which is OBI tier 3, the core project by OBINexus. But today's about this one protocol, but it's got NSigii as a king and NSigii OB, which I've made. So basically, I'm saying, what I'm saying, so continuing from the system of the human rights system embryonically, sustainable children for war is kind of the goal of it. But it's about genetic, not genetic modification, but as a metric of sustainability. Because if a child can die from malaria in a war zone, it's no good for the mother or anyone for the mother. So that's what matters for the milestone, or the moving the stone, tracking the stone drift through the entropy drifting system. So, Mortal Kombat, basically, I'm trying to look at my model. Okay, so this is the war one, this is the war repository. Now, the war repository was the focus of today. Basically, someone in university, UNCG International Studies, volume 9. Alberto Federal College of Owerri, Imo State. Imo State, that's where my dad is from, but this is my friend from university. But this man is an old man, he's a man. States have desperate interest. Dealing the form. Basically, this was in Norwich, right? To prevent balance, but the struggle company. Basically, Nigeria is very unstable, but there's a lot of things. So it's matters. In pre-colonial time, Igbo, like many others, have been able to almost experience various form of conflict, because interrelated already there, or inter wars, because they work on they don't have factions. We have factions. We have kind of very bloody factions. Because we have a lot of groups, that can be armed. Anyone can be armed. Anyone has the power and resources to control the territory, and that's the thing. Nigeria is a war zone. Whether you like it or not, seriously. The more people have, it's more corruption. Keyword war diplomacy. I don't know what that is, but I'm trying to get my university because I'm trying to claim land, but I'm not trying to do it by force. I'm going to do it like proper. So it works is the war situation of conflict of two states fighting over each other. Basically, my section 205 lets me do this. War is of verbal features of period. Like many others, Africa wars and Igbo triggered by the first factor, second economic wars could be prolonged, but not endless. Because someone has to give. This is called war of attrition. Because I call it the war of attrition. The ratio of attrition. Because it can be fine, but if there's no to fight, there's no. So you say, because say it doesn't matter what's going on, but it's all stop fighting for one day, and the other is stop fighting. No person you don't know whether to stop fighting and the rest of the war. Basically, it's three-player chess. For example, I can be an adversary against Nigeria, but I have nothing to do with the Nigerians. But I can support Igbos, I can support Hausas, I can support Fulani. But the Igbos didn't fight the Yoruba, and the Fulani says, "Oh, Hausa, I'm an Hausa. Let me go and join the Igbos." And the other guy says, "I'm gonna show they are destroying because they are away from each other." I said, basically, the Geneva Convention is the most important thing I care about. It's the only thing I fucking care about. So let me just find the Geneva Convention because I care about this because it's about people actually rebuilding themselves. So basically, this one I love. Humanity. It's not really about this is the most important document of rationale. The only thing that can stabilize them. But these are the articles here. I can't remember because I'm just trying to find a form of punishment in a war zone. But the medicals anyone that's a medic, with British records, have to abide by the Geneva Convention. Anyone that's a third party has to abide by the Geneva Convention. It doesn't matter what the war is. If they are fighting and they're fighting because they agree to fight, no one can intervene. That's why the three-play chess matters to me. Because you go to a two-play chess, which is the boring one, that you guys play. But if it's a dimensional log on war, they will kill it. This is Red Cross. But the Geneva Convention is like literally above the article of provision. Like who's allowed to do something in a war? If it's not involved, you can cause profit yourself, so you can get involved. But people do it and get away with it, and that's what the Geneva Convention meant to do. Because you have nothing to do with war. Don't get involved. You get penalized too. It doesn't matter whether you're helping or not. If you're not part of that in any shape or form, you can mind your own business and or start your own war somewhere else. But all worship of Benai party shall have the right to shipwreck on measures. Basically, this is the way out of what is handing over to a better good. And I don't know. This is very important. I've really adopted this one, but my one I've just doubled it. I've doubled it because I've just tripled. Basically, my Duke conversion. This is the one I have, but this works in dimensions. What I mean is, if you have war, and this is just two people fighting, two countries fighting, Germany or France. They have to have this kind of article in place for them to just resolve the issue, and have human rights here. But it's not enough because there's third parties involved. Whether like that be Hungary or Austria, where he's left from, it doesn't really matter because there's so it's dimension. It's that third dimension because Germany, the Nazi, what's his name? Fucking Hitler was fucking from Austria, Hungary, yeah. And he moved to Germany because somebody was German something. So this is why it matters to him. It doesn't mean it is a very good piece of paper. If the company can use this, if my e-commerce systems have to obey this as a policy, have to be in there, know what this is, but it has to be double because I run a constitution, I don't run a company, I don't run a war business, I run a type of stability, so I have to like triple it. So these two articles will work for my tripolar self. So as a policy, as a person, this is for wounded, this is for medics. So if you get medics of war, those medics will kill people, will save people. So it's kind of blurred lines, because the America, that's what they say. If a medic helped me before, why would they help me again? I just help you now. It's kind of annoying because you don't know the medic wants to help you or not. You never know. It's just a war zone. So you met in the war zone. How you gonna trust them? No. So, but this article 13, the preset agreement shall be because the powers will use like the same safety zones, buffer zone. Okay, now we have a bunker. This is very important. So we're gonna have bunkers everywhere, but we have buffer zones and safety zones. But they can be temporarily because it is more temporary. Still they are because if they're permanent, that means they can work for any day, any time, anyone. So I'm saying they are sparse. You have to move people from there and out of there. I don't care. It's temporary for the people, but it's there permanently as a fixed zone. For example, you have a bunker. How much is a bunker? Bunker is like on the surface level. But they have like a fire tip, but they have a critical structure, so they dissipate what I call piercing rounds of like ballistic missiles, because those are really fucking annoying. This one, but they just work on. They have like a spikes around them, but like a shell of a spike of a tunnel. That's so spiky hurts the system because it doesn't matter how much firepower you got there. If you can't, but you have to go on the ground sometime. But you go on the ground. The bunkers have on the ground layers. But they have this joint underground system because I care about people that comes from the guy even myself. But you gotta move them from this temporarily. It's permanent. You can still permanent, but notice it's permanent for them. They can live there until they come up into it, but it's just because you can always go up. In two ways. No matter the water, but members of every day you check, but the bunkers are what with 30 minutes, 10 minutes now. 5 meters, 5 minutes of land, no? 5, 10, 5 feet, 5 feet, no, 15 feet. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So we have 3 bunkers in one compound, and that'll be 3 divided by 18, 15. 15 divided by 4, 4 is 3, 4 and 3. We got a sparse bunker model, so 2 sets of bunkers that are temporary. So we get 4 and 3, 4 times 3 is 12. So you get 12 bunkers but they go, they create a network on the ground. So you get 4 bunkers, 3 bunkers on the top, but they're big, but 4 bunkers on the ground that join. So, but they are disjoint from the top because, there's a 3 to 4 mapping. 3 surface, only 3 bunkers on the surface, there's 4 on the bottom, on the ground. They are 10 meters, 15 meters, and they are 5 meters, they are 5 feet, no. They're 10 feet on the 5 10 to 5 feet on ground, because but you got a shell. It's like a turtles, but it's essential. But they have bugs, they have spikes, they have crystallizing structures. Because it's not like a sharp. It's just these shock waves that can really tear down people in radiation. But basically they work on anti-radiation. This one, how much radiation there is, the system absorbs it and crystallizes that radiation, which can be used as energy. And that's the policy of the bunker. So basically it dissipates into the energy as crystals. Because it gets harder and harder. It's biologically sustainable because this one there's a lot of radiation. The radiation can become something useful, like energy that can sustain people on the ground. And then before the strains and everything. Artists basically. For every one of these articles, you have to double it. So, because this is like fermentation, you design it technology. So you get, we have to have for this article is really article one, article one, basically, I'll just put okay. So article one, presence are basically, look at them saying, presence are penally, but people are annoying because prisons can kill people. Prisons can kill a lot of people. People are annoying because there's a lot of prisons where prisons are not sustainable because you can put them into the key. So I'm saying to you, all you need is hospitals in the constitution. There's no prison constitution. If there's any prison, there should be outside the constitution. Okay, outside 3 complexes. There should be an expansion zone. Two distinct areas apart, especially only because prisons means there's you're securing, you're moving people that you don't need. So that's like a checkpoint. At a checkpoint, 2 times outside the complex is the maximum place. The checkpoint provides a system where the collective arrangement of the system as well. Basically, the internal community and the hospitals, you can't get hospitals. If we right people get support, they want people to get out. Because it's kind of like someone pretending to be you to navigate your system. That's what I'm saying. It's not an option for me. And that's what I'm saying. People that like a way get and play you are violent. Because the job is here because most people agree to it. Hospitals and safety zones shall fulfill. They should compromise on a small part of they should not be used in areas which but yeah, they are meant to be. This one out of 4, I'm not gonna. But this is very necessary. You can't negotiate. It's not whether it's me or not. It matters if the safety. So at the 4, we have to triple this one. I have to make 4 more. So mine was E to F. A D E F G H H I J K L. So mine was E to L. But if I don't do this, guys, out of 4, please, someone triple this, please. But let's just take all of them. Take ABC and give 4 more definition everything, and let's just make them HR because HR will be much better than basically there's no top hospitals. All the hospitals are on the ground because I don't trust anyone. No hospitals that one on the surface in the expansion zone area. The second outside the second checkpoint of the expansion zone. That is the bunker and the second is the hospital. But the hospital, because you got it safely to the underground, because you're going on the ground, because it's just a mini bunker, but it's a lot of people can deal with that system, because you are there. Representation of segregation. Article 12, subject may measure detaining power containing religious Islamist this because they kind of it's kind of annoying because Islam, we didn't give Islamic people here, religious people, but I don't hear I hear the fact that there are a lot of interlinkation in the Bible and stuff like that affects me in the mind, and people can be terror or become brainwashed, and that's why I hate detaining powers, because detaining powers show the security because they are, whether they are religious or not. Because no Muslims, we don't have Muslim faith, so they can argue something in marriage is right, and that way change your rationale, with you some rationale that is this. I'll give you water and you become them. Because you don't know you're them, because you usually become what I call sleeper agent. You do your job, but you're doing it from their angle, and then you become them. Exactly, these are the believer. That's why I hate, because the parties are national, because but these are not just documents. These are machine variable code. Each word can be run by an AI. I just want to take this. I just want to, as a politics, if I can't make this, guys, I need this genetic condition. I'm gonna double mine. I need to upload to the AI and flash it to the firmware of the AI, because I'm not joking with my system. Basically, I haven't got a terabyte per minute, a terabyte per second with TPS. Basically, I got a terabyte per minute, but basically a terabyte per minute is like in a minute you're gonna delete. It's like a polarizer. If in a minute you're gonna delete. It's a noise destroyer. It's a noise. It's a noise. If you take the noise, which is water, it's like taking a picture. It's like a camera. Probably like taking a picture. You put it in the sunlight. You wait 1 minute, but you're taking each frame of that picture. So you're sharing motion in that picture happening. So like this, if I shake my head, I'm looking left, right. I'm turning my head, and you're taking a picture. You can see like a trail effect. So you're going to, but that's not the terabyte I'm going to use. But you take a picture. So this one you can take a picture. Yeah, you take a picture. Oh yeah. This is what I'm saying or not. This is my face, but terabyte per minute does 1,000 kilobyte per minute per second per minute. So that is like a story. So if we take a picture of someone moving their hair that's black, you will know that person is black. You know, like so you'll know next time. So you can pull out some the data is already there. If you store, you can destroy the data that wasn't not there, which is the perfect environment. But it's like taking a picture or taking a video. That's taking each picture of the video, so he knows what should be there in the raw, no AI needed, and that's why I love this system. So this kind of thing as a process, because that's the process. Because you just remember your picture taken, the program will kind of flash. It doesn't have to flash. You just have to flash. You just have to take the tape. The tape is sheer. You got the tape. You got the tape. And this tape can record a human. So it's not expected to record a human. The pattern is already there, and any algorithm you run on the tape, which is a computer OS, will know that this person is you. This is your ID. This is what you look like. This is what you should look like. And what is a hostile, what is unknown. It's easy for humans to classify without any additional system. So it's like a memory module system, but you get a terabyte per second. So it's like deleting, taking you allocating 10,000, 1,000, 10,000 or 10,000. So what's the policy? 10,000 kilobytes. Not 1,000, 1,000 kilobytes. For every second of frame, for every picture together, because there's a lot of information you can get on that picture, but that picture is a second, taking a second, 60 milliseconds. So let me calculate that. 60 seconds. So 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, you take a bit for every 1.6 second, 1.67 divided by 100. 0.016 seconds, you are what? Second, you are taking a frame. This is a frame. 1 second, 600 milliseconds. But you gotta do it for the 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 600. You get this to 16. So you get 16 frames, 16.67 frames per 6.7 frames, because you are getting that, you're capturing that in a second, and that information is all the color that's there that you want to preserve or remove, because these articles are non-negotiable. So I want to stay and let them verify what it means to be this human being in a war zone, because the AI system, whether AI or not, should be able to flash you, remember you, wherever you go. It tracks you. You can keep your journal, but the journal is because journal is like a war zone, so you can't shoot a medical person, which is difficult. For war safety, imprisonment. This 3-player chess is just like 3-player chess. Like, you have a triangular chessboard, so you have if you don't it's like if you have try draw it again. So you have a triangle chessboard. So basically, this is a triangle chessboard. So you get here OBI, here NSigii, and here Uche. So you get triangle chessboard. It's like the point is like these are actors in the system. Each of them playing chess with NSigii, but NSigii doesn't want to play chess with Uche. But there's something there. It's a rough argumentation in mind because I'm tripolar. That's not a policy. So this is a policy. They say there must be something like this is not negotiable because it matters to me so much that if I don't have food, if it doesn't have food, this will go against Uche, and Uche will get your man will get from me. And this is why this is not negotiable. It's basically meant to show your system doesn't like you when you need food, doesn't give food to a fellow person, because and that's going to be when that person needs food, it's not just a joke. So this is the use journal. But this is water compliant because NSigii protocol is war, but war is every day and nothing, every day unknown day. Because I know war, Nigeria. This is war. Who tell you they're fighting you in war? no, no, we know we're fine, and we agree on the term war. But you don't have to tell me I'm fine in war, and that's why the noise star matters, and that's why we have two oppositions. Though half society, half the society describe the women of the fearful as you know. Basically, Igbo state wages upon regular guerrilla command attacks. So Igbo state wages both regular open and regular. Basically, guerrilla war is like literally getting drunk with a knife, but command attacks are like bush attacks. So they are guerrilla warfare is a ruler war zone, but the commando attacks are literally being in the same war zone. But as a come from the bushes, it matters because they're open and irregular because they are. There's so much instability, so it does work when it does work, but it's not informal. It's just war. No one else can tell you what to do. So you may think you're going somewhere, social media, sim charges. However, good over commander were used slave rates, counter rates, and they were military that couldn't be carried out in regular methods because war was used by illegal to wage war and abduct or kill fugitives, offenders, or criminals living in exile in the metropole. It was also to capture and assist their own warriors in the camp. Basically, we are guerrilla fighters. It's used because it works. It works. If it doesn't work, you want to be used, but it's used because it's slow. This level, this thing, this way, pushes, and you can handle it a lot of places. And that's why this is one. The fugitives is someone that can move away. I had like Igbo fugitives, so I'm saying it's like it's on streets and a crime to do. They're banning the war. They join the other side. You don't know they are banning some kind of opposition, and that position is important. Like me, for example, I can push if I do it, I'm signing up, man. There's a lot of things I can do. This is a journal matter, this is a policy. This is because I'm looking at my life, myself. If I need it, I'm a farm because I'm gonna lose this. This is my whole problem. I can leave when I move around. I'm making a journal, a paper journal as a policy, and one on the internet. Because you have to think so, and then you can see a journal. And only look at the Oxford journal in a war zone. Because you're gonna lose. You don't have to keep a journal. You have to keep a journal for the time being. Because you run your life because I'm a constitutional company. So the company about deploys different outwards as sticks, clubs, and stone. Nice was being this is a weapon you can kill, but firearm was one used before the second of the 19th. A pressure will come war state and security edge over did not have fire. This is brutal war. We do have guns, yes. We do have guns now, but I'm making my own guns because I love the Desert Eagle. The Desert Eagle. You get a Desert Eagle, the Desert one. You get the Deagle and the Deagle. You get the Beagle. What do you call it? Basically, I got the Beagle. I don't know, but the Deagle and some other combination is Desert. Because the Desert Eagle is a Deagle. It's the Desert Eagle. You get one more. That's like but it's a bit untouched. That's why we didn't have wars because we had so much things instability that we couldn't get at them. Because war stops a lot of things from being because there's not a lot of solutions. And that's what I'm giving you guys. The no generals what you're gonna need. Just why the generals is this for you guys to write what you want to want. This is what I want the guns you have now. It's like what would you need to be there? And that's what making it kind of protocol. So so we were told that military code kind of like this law but the luckiest thing that everything war Umanda's daughters were former Ruto Paro appeared to war appeared in the war front as basically Umanda and daughters. Look, I don't care about women like that. It's just kind of if he wants to stop a war, if my daughter says to your daughter, stop this war, it's rational. That's just what I meant, but but in working most of the time, but no woman did it. So I don't really like this because they're the first house they're stressed. The Umandas, you for umbrella, and for Mike, you for umbrella, you for other, you for Delta. Basically, this I'm gonna accept this, but I'm gonna include children too. Because children are there, anyone is a daughter or not. Because children are single and the women are and the daughters are single, not the women. But if the woman is the war, they should agree. Because I don't really care because I care that respect ontology there. Because I'm saying the nature of society, blah 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 blah. But this is not the thing. Basically, we have guns there a lot. slave, but basically I'm making my own guns because I got, but I'm trying to put like a holographic interface for like a body armor, but it's basically a room called HoloXS. Basically it's often a tier 3B, bound because you're tier 3, tier 2B because you can sell guns and manufacturers will be I got 3D printer can do that, because I got section 205. Doesn't matter what the law says to me no more, because I found what section 205 when they said no how they said it. And even the law there's economic dispute with section 205 my law legislation on github.com/OBINexus, which is legislation. And that's my and water compliant. So it's bound to be a tier 2 because I don't really business. I want it superior. I don't want superior. I want it to be sparse. So it's like having a sniper and a shotgun. They both have range, and the range is short and long. But what is mean short, long range, and raw? It's not really making sense to me. It's not a sparse model because you need kind of weapons to advance. Doesn't matter whether spy or no. It matters that you get no war coercion in the into a poor coercion one. There were no pan Igbo wars, and there were no pan Igbo states that could break away because there was no war that we have, but peaceful people could be peaceful because everything was social political, it was local. So it was so local, you can talk to yourself. Some of the problem was, we get this thing, things trying to build back, so basically, everything could talk to you about our problems and what was solved before it happened. So we were very peaceful. That's how the people came, the control. So we decided, naval was very good because naval was the kind of thing on the scene. But we're not guerrilla fighters. We are people of color, and we are not stand in the sense that we are not from there when we colonize or not. We don't colonize because we don't need them. We can always persuade, and persuasion is about resource. Like diamond stealing. I'm saying this is also still mine gold. So it gets solved. I'm saying. No, because I still diamond everything. So, because as soon as store something, I believe if you build something, you just saw it. I want to saw the works. We're told that the middle school of Conan, but no, okay, because because if interpret which one, because if children want to stop what they can vote as a policy, if there's a lot of distress, what it means to see what the children want. Because I'm not asking the children, we can see what they want first, the children and the women. And those they have the vote for, and we the men want to go to a home vote. So I separate 3 for the children only, girls and boys separate, men and women separate, and what adults separate. Doesn't matter what political or not, I'm better than logistics. The kind of history that other primary resource is the interview survey and you're gonna work on an expansion and everywhere. So this was a different condition. Basically, the Star Wars was a good idea. It's a good idea when you have all the issues ahead of time. When you see we can take without asking. But which one you can take? If you can't take something with more poverty, you're gonna go out to the known, and that's what 3-player chess matters. If you can like start with by stealing, then bring on someone else, like like this, and then get deal with them. You already started the war, but that's a no start of war because you done the wrong thing. You bring in someone else, and now you have stability. So the kind of thing I'm saying, the war is very conventional because you cannot measure the effect in real time. Okay? All the firms, why something happened? Because if something is educated, and someone said, oh, you call it fugitives are people don't keep people stupid about fugitives. Any of the fugitives want to grow back and I don't really care anymore because I don't like people that betray me. So if there's a fugitive, we need to literally get them out of position. I can find out whether they can put them in one place. What they want for an isolated island, but it's an isolated place, like a box with walls and everything. But they stay there to confess their fugitives. Because if we know the fugitives, I'm gonna ask them anymore. You can confess, for the sake of the children, they can stay with the children, then rooting for the children, as a children, until they all confess, because people are strong when they're together. It doesn't matter what is going on. They are stronger because they were in it together, they can continue together. It doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter what they want, but you have to keep them isolate, idle in the state of waiting for answers to give us the truth, because come on. So basically, where the fuck are you, man? Robert, so basically, this is trusted ZKP, the boomerang. This is a boomerang repository. But you go Reflag. Reflag is like the specification language for Rift. The project framework, the radiography, the status of the transport, the SUI list, and the ecosystem here. So basically, what is literally the noisy, because it doesn't matter when you look at people, you don't declare war to someone. A verb form, you just say, you say I'm a warrior, and you're not being from there, and that would tell me you want to war. It doesn't matter where you are. Let me just confirm, but are you ready to fight me? I don't know. I don't say it kind of uncertain because there's a lot of blood that happens. Because the guns are very important. So I'm making my own guns, 100%. But I'm not going to let anybody build for me. My water win. That's why I have the holographic room. The holographic room, I go in there. I have 3 personas, future acid, and OB, and that's like a storeroom of weaponry. But it's a weaponry, but I have to build my weapon. Whether a grenade or no. Because this is something my storeroom for. My system just puts up weapons, and that's what I'm saying. It's never like okay, it's a computer holographic interface that shows me that the produce or the clothes I want to wear onto my body, and then I choose it and I go and wear it. Because I make this show next day with tights or something like that, and that's very important for me to have now because who breaks up any heart and anywhere. I keep like a safe. Human rights is not protocol. It's good. Positive. The Mmuko updates NSigii, U formula, K for kilo, O for Oscar, dash, O for officer is the operating system. I use especially as a policy, there should be 80 games because 80 human rights, 8 plus 8 is 16, 8 of 8 is 80 mini games I make on the system because when you download it, when someone Mmuko download, you're living and breathing. If the system is breathing or trying to breathe, you are living, you are playing one of the 80 games, mini games. That's 10,000 kilobytes maximum for each game. Download it in one time. What's going on? Because you are there. So my story is for the war. For war being real life development. So good from human called Ezzy. Basically, Ezzy was my sterum. That's for Ezzy because Ezzy is our president of war. Because everything is like so we all know steroids, but all spaces, but OPI can be in Ezzy because we need the Ezzy now. So we got holograms that are there. That Ezzy controls, but it's for Ezzy. That's what the story is for. The purpose is not the objective. The subjective is the objective. Because your role is the main objective. But if you're in a war, you don't have an objective. You have a framework to the objective because you're in a team. When you're in a war, you're in army platoon. So it's an objective frame of reference that you don't know, and they call it an objective. But you can never achieve that objective with a die. So we call it subjective because it's a war. If you get objective down. That means you're the one of the best teams. So you're working on objectives as a policy, and everyone's role, ontology role called subjective. As a policy, NSigii protocol, human rights downloader, which is gonna download Mmuko as well. I'm gonna look at Mmuko as well. So Mmuko is a human rights, 80 human rights OS. What else? Breathe is not optional because breathe is never optional because the system must breathe once we download it while you're playing the games so you can live. While the system is breathing, you are living. While you're living, the system is working. While you're working, the system is living. While you're living, the system is breathing. As a policy, it's a trident system because the system works because the human rights system. The Mmuko is my Mmuko is a quantum system. You can use a polar filter, a polarizer filter, polar filter that works on principles of polarity. Or what to do first. Let me go to Master's Fun. Quantum filters. So this is quantum filters. So basically, you can have this what polar verbs in one plane. So you go to the new one. So you get light behaves one of the filters. So you don't try to. So light is normally free and random in all directions, but polarized. You get properties of this light that you can use for holographic interaction. So it's like a 4D lattice. It's like a 3D space. Once you measure this on the other side, you get the same line, but you get a property you can interact with. It's what I'm saying. It's polarized. So you get this is a lens, but this lens is looking to you. You can interact with it here because it's not your light in the naked eye that's unpolarized. This is what the polarization does. Light gets polarized by passing through polarization. Photons. When a particular feature states some cosine A is secant so I plus sine R and there's a left right direction. If you go right, you measure a quark. So you don't want instant to give you a quark. You gotta take a quark, but you're something. If you need a quark, you gotta get a quark. But you gotta measure if basically so this is cosine of theta. Cosine of theta is a quark is pointing the right, and right is what northeast is cubed. East to the power of 3, because it brings 3 dimensions. Because if you get the area of 2, it's going to be e to the power of 3 is theta cosine to the power of theta 3, which is a quark. So you're measuring a quark, you have to measure a quark left to right, means up to down direction. Because they are conjugate, the conjugate canality, the share cosine and sine on the lapis tomographic. On the lapis, the polarization literally encounters light, and this is the imaginary number up. This is theta, and theta is right, but this one the polarization first you count. So this must is formed. So this is photons before the lights can write this theta with photon is like this cosine theta left to right direction plus sine theta up direction. Because this up direction is literally the wave equality. So if the wave is the one is quark, we're measuring a quark with this photon. We say, okay, we're measuring all the quarks of the photon plus, but if we're measuring with this kind of function, if we're measuring up, if we're measuring on north, we're measuring things moving away from us that we can't really see, and that is redshift. What is in the red hue, but those red hue are noisy, so the radio signals these are that we can't see. But it can be photons, it could be basically the Higgs bosons or Higgs boson neutrinos, which they have mass. Photons that have mass, but they are they're coming from my angle and moving away. So that's like the lights we all share if we are looking one direction. Okay, so you get this one. So minus will be minus side here, plus here could be minus side, but this will not be minus. This will be because you measure the wave. This will be the Hilbert space you're measuring of a sparse lattice and lapis, which is the dimension it shares of the filter. So the lapis is the dimensional area. Because you get a lattice, this lattice is the polarized filter. This is one filter, you get 2 filters, that's a lapis. Because you go through filter first, you get to 2 dimensions, 2 filters. No, the cosine squared 2. So we get this. No bit of property. Property equals amplitude square. So the magnitude of visibility cosine 45 degrees. So you get cosine 0 theta equals 45 as cosine cosine 45 equals a half a square root, and sine 45 equals a half, and c equals a billion. You get the half right, but no, 0 half, not quite. The probability of each state is the amplitude of magnitude square. So basically you get up down. So you get an up down polarization, up and down, up and down. You get some quantity you can control. You want something that has that doesn't have mass. Because mass means you're wasting your eyes, but you want the Higgs boson equivalent of the mass in a neutrino to propagate as a wave that is stable via a lepton. Because lepton is like gravity holding it down, but you want to measure a torque. A TAU, because he has a mass or the mass of a muon. So what you want is a muon, which gives you 100 of the lepton, because the lepton is gravity. So if a lepton pulls things down at 9.8, a muon puts it down at 9.9. Okay, let me get a calculator. 9.8 times 10 times 100. Basically, this is muon 980 milliseconds. If we live in a muon lattice, so because this is 9 divided by 8, basically 9 meters per second. So 9 times 10, wait, 9.8 times 10. Is it 10? This is 100 of a muon. So a muon is 1 divided by 100. So 1 divided by 100. 100 times 100 times 9.8, and that would be 980 meters per second. That would be a million volts, and this is about the mass, so it's actually interruptible. If you add 1,000 times 9.8, that would be 9.8 times 1,000. This will be measured a torr, and the torr would be stable because you get a lattice containing all the information of the power of 9.8 in the lattice space, and for each lattice, but the pixels are disjoint because you have to make sure that red, blue gives you cyan, blue and green gives you a yellow, and any combination gives you alpha. Any OR combination gives you alpha, and alpha is everything that is white light, that is unpolarized and polarized white light. When you measure them via the right framework of reason, 9.8. You get the side black. Black is just the default thing. So this one is very important because we get a heatbox and neutrinos. The heatbox propose a wave, so they are this is a cause and wave effect, but they are wave equivalents also. If there's a mass as a wave, and then just get hydrogen. All the electrons have a mass, but they have a weight. They don't have a weight because they share. They have no weight because they don't need weight to be to exist in the physical. Yes, to be So when you measure, we have to to say. That's what quantum physics matters. They matter because of matter. So I suppose they should try them. And this is what the holographic system of Mmuko OS is used, because at the angle you're literally just changing how the polarization works. And to get information, you need probability equals amplitude square, the magnitude of atom square. We use a special symbol to mean x in the direction of. In concept of physics, our common sense can be wrong, but can use it to get results to match observation. Common sense is wrong, not common wrong. It's like if you're not thinking of ontological process of you are thinking wrong. So common sense is wrong, definitely. I'm seeing why am I seeing a photo? How do I see a photo? I'm observing the reality of them. I'm living in a fallen universe, and photos do exist, and they do flow in one direction, and that's so we can measure photos with our own naked eyes as our subjective reality, and that's what we are wrong. That's why some of us are wrong because people have different experience with their eyes when they see stuff, because our intelligent realism allows exploration based on where we are in the film realism.